Well, hello, hello, hello. Hi, everyone. My name is Arthur Johnson, and this is my first live stream of my 50-day water fast. Um, I am actually on day 13, but I'm going to describe days 1 through 10. Well, let me start from the beginning. Uh, in, I guess, medical terms, I'm not only obese, but by medical terms, I am morbidly obese. Uh, to start with my challenges, I'm going to say 27 years ago, um, I was a policeman for the city of Toledo, and I lost the job, and that was the most prestigious job that I ever had, and it was also the most devastating failure in my life I had experienced. So at the time that I lost the job, I was weighing 235, and I didn't know. As I look back now, as I'm 56 years old, I didn't know that I was that depressed. You know what? I've never been a smoker. I've never been a drinker, never. But uh, I could eat, and at the time, I was 235 pounds when I lost the job, and the way that I was dealing with the depression that I really didn't know. Well, I knew I was depressed, but I didn't know that I couldn't medicate my pain. If I would have known to take some type of antidepressant medicine, I would have taken it. I just didn't know. So what I did is I ate, and that was seemed to be my only means of satisfaction was eating. Um, that's just what I did. Uh, and that went on, and I could not articulate to people the pain that I was going through. But I blew up. I would say probably the first 150 pounds that I grew, I was very depressed. However, once I probably after 6 or 7 years, it was no longer a depression. It was just that I liked food. It was a creature comfort. It was a comfort of food for me. And I just blew up and blew up and blew up. And but I probably mellowed out probably around 495. I'll never forget the date. It was July 8th, 2015. I was going into a building here in Toledo, and I misjudged the step going from the street to the curb, and I misjudged the step, and down I went on my right knee, and I broke my leg. When I broke my leg, uh, I was in the hospital for about a month, and I had to stay in the bed for some months until the leg healed, and then I grew to, I don't know, about 580 or something. And then by that time, I still like food. As a matter of fact, doing that 495 to 570 time, the only thing I could do was eat. So I ate, and that got to be about 575, 580, something like that. And by that time, again, I still like food, so I got to over 600 pounds. Um, and then I started listening to I, with the medication. I stayed at with blood pressure medicine. I stayed at 140-ish over 80-ish, taking blood pressure medicine. Um, that and my sugar. Now, one thing I did believe in and do believe in, I would do these periodic 2.5 to 3 day fasts where I would just have either an apple in the morning and an apple in the evening, and I didn't eat. So I got up to around 600, but those fasts that I was going pretty much 3 days a week, I got down to as low as 550. Um, then I got turned on to Mr. Jason Fung. And Jason Fung, well, let me, before I talk about Jason Fung, let me tell you the reason why I decided to do the fast, the water fast. The reason I decided to do the water fast was for two reasons. The first is I started experiencing. Now, you would think, well, as big as you are, Art, surely you would want to um, do a fast to lose weight. True, absolutely, 100% true. However, comma, uh, the thing that has really got me motivated to do this so-called radical fast is because I have been experiencing memory loss to the point that I don't want to say what I think it is, but it's showing me signs. Like, for example, I knew my credit card number, 5449 blank 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 blank. I knew my credit card number like that. It was rudimental. It was rudimental as your ABCs, your one, two, threes. But one time I decided to put my credit card number in, and I remember the first 8 digits, and then I cannot remember the next four. How do you forget that at 56? And then I was struggling to remember what my address, the 4 digit address of my house was. I could not remember it. I couldn't. And I did not want to say what I thought, but I thought that was showing early signs of dementia. And I thought I was done. Um, but I started out listening to Jason Fung. Jason Fung is um, what's the word? He's a kidney specialist. Um, but he got turned on to fasting. Actually, he was a nephrologist. He got concerned as to why people were that were getting their kidneys shut down. They were, and he tried to finally. He said, "Well, what is causing this?" And overwhelmingly, he came to the conclusion it was diet. And some way he came to the conclusion that if you fast, you would address the issue. And there were countless cases, and he's a doctor now, countless cases of people that were on diabetic medicine reversing uh, the not only the symptoms but the diabetes, and it was going against traditional modern medicine. His philosophy was fasting, but he that's the like the 2 day and the 3 day fast and fasting windows and OMADs. That's OMAD means 1 meal a day. He was doing a lot of that, and from that I got turned on to Dr. Alan Goldhammer, and he has a uh, clinic called True North Health. And from that, he was even more radical. He would put people on strictly water fasts. And the thing that got my attention is that he would go 40 days, 50 days, 100 days. Dr. Alan Goldhammer, he would have people on that. And not only would they lose massive amounts of weight, not only would they would begin to see autoimmune diseases reversed. They would begin to see signs of Alzheimer's and dementia reversed. And that got my attention. So the first thing, the most, because I know I'm big, but I could not deal with the memory loss. So that inspired me more because I was still doing 2 and 3 days of fasting. What I would do is I would take the week that I started, I would take before I started the water fast, I would take a sweet tea from McDonald's, maybe one in the morning and one in the evening, and I would drink that, and it was yielding some fruit, some benefit, but not as rapidly as the water fast. And then when I was drinking water, because I had a hard time drinking water, I would have a fireball with the water to help me drink the water to make it more palatable to me. But when I got turned on to Dr. Alan Goldhammer and the results that they were yielding, I decided to go to the water fast. And I'm going to give you some things that days that I went into the fast and some of the experiences. Day one, this was 2/22/23. That was February 22nd, 23. I'm reading the notes of the first 10 days. No sweet tea from McDonald's, no fireballs to help me drink water, just straight water. And I had no discernible issues throughout the day from drinking the water until the evening. And when I got to the evening, they tell me that generally the first couple days are the worst. Well, mine's went to day one. Day one, I cannot articulate how rough day one was. It could have, and most people start having really bad experiences day two. I had it day one. Maybe my body was already used to me going so far that that was the day two for my body. But anyway, that's just my opinion. Day one was okay, but when I got to the evening, I went through some major withdrawals where I said, God, you got to help me. I mean, it was like, it was the equivalent to being hooked on drugs. And from what I've been hearing and watching on Facebook, there is a certain amount of pleasure from salt and sugar that satisfies a part of your brain associated with dopamine. It is the same side of your brain that drug addicts find pleasure in. And I was going through some major withdrawals. That was probably the worst day of my. I didn't want a meal. You know what I wanted? I wanted some chips. I wanted some onion rings. These chips, onion rings. These chips that you buy in onion rings you buy in a bag. That's what I wanted. And I was going through some major. I was this close to quitting. I went through this probably, I don't know, maybe 30, 45 minutes before and I was praying too. If you don't believe in God, I do. And I was asking God to help me. And I remember toward the end, I had this sharp pain in my stomach. I'm sure drug addicts know exactly what I'm talking about. I had this sharp pain in my stomach. The only thing that really got me through was God, number one. Number two, I finally started getting tired. And when I got tired and sleepy, that's when I went to sleep. And day two, of course, you have headaches and things like that. But the withdrawal symptoms were totally, absolutely gone. The first day was a Wednesday. The next day, there were no struggles whatsoever. I was surprised on how I got through it. In fact, I was concerned that when I go into the night again, that I would have a struggle with food withdrawals. I just watched the games on TNT and I was good. There was no problems. Uh, Day three, again, no struggles whatsoever. The withdrawals had totally subsided. Now, I will say that you're going through, and you're not going through withdrawals, but I've heard prisoners say when they're in jail they're doing time slow. It's slow time as you're waiting day by hour, minute by minute, day by day for you to finish your sentence. And so I went through I have still going through these days where it's slow time. It's just very slow because I'm waiting for day 50. But again, no withdrawals. Now, on day 4, that was February 25th, what I did experience was dry heaves. When you're trying to throw up and you caulking up, you're gawking up nothing, maybe spit, but you can't throw up because there's nothing on your belly. I did experience that on day 4, and I was thinking that maybe I'm gonna quit because that was kind of rough. Uh, but got through that. That was only a couple minutes. That wasn't an all day thing or wasn't an all night thing. It was just a few minutes in the bathroom, but I got through it. Day 5, uh, everything was okay. No pains, no anything. Day 6, um, nothing significant, but it was interesting. I was starting to experience insomnia where I couldn't sleep. And I have heard incidents where persons start to experience insomnia, and I was in the group. Day 6 and day 7, I was experiencing insomnia. Um, Day 7, I was feeling great, but I get a call from the doctor that they want to review my blood work. I came in at 10 o'clock, and now the scale. I should start off this. The scale said 489. So I got into 489, and I started out in the. I can pull it up later, but my first day, I think I started out at 507 or something like that, 507 pounds. Um, Now that scale said I was 497, but I went to one of those high tech. I went to the medical weight loss place to get the right one, and they spent some money on a high tech quality state of the art scale, and it said I was 489. But the so that was like literally 50 pounds from the last time I saw the doctor, and they were impressed with that until I told them, uh, number one, you got your scale from Walmart or someplace. This is not a good scale because their scale said 497, and I know it wasn't right. But they were okay with me and they were impressed that I lost so much weight until they asked me, how did I lose so much weight? And I said, oh, I've been water fasting. And the physician wasn't down with that at all. They felt that uh, that was not the way to lose weight. Um, and they felt that I don't think the issue was Matter of fact, she said it wasn't so much me losing the weight, but it was that she said once you start refeeding, you're gonna start putting the weight back on. I said, ma'am, but when I start out, I was over 500 pounds. If I get down to 300 something and I put on 20 pounds, I think that's a lot better than being 500 something pounds. She did not like that. Now, she wasn't a fan of it, and she said you're gonna do what you want to do anyway. Yeah, ma'am, you're right. I am. But she wasn't. So I'm not telling you to do what you want to do. You can run it by your physician. Some of them are not open to water fasting. Um, Another thing was my blood pressure was 160 over 100. They took it 3 times to make sure um, that it was correct. Because when I went in there before, it was like again 140 over 80ish. And she asked me had I been taking my medicine. I told her no. And she suggested to me that I do. And now, I told her while I was doing this whole thing is I wanted my system to reset because I've been hearing positive things about the fast. And she says, okay. And now she also let me know because I did some blood work the month prior that my A1C was 5.7. You are diabetic when you're 6.5. That's the last thing I heard. But she said you're 5.7. You are now entering into pre-diabetic. Okay. I'm entering into pre-diabetic. However, I'm going to keep this fasting going. So she wanted me to come back in a month and do some more blood work. And I expect positive response. That was day 7. Day 8, I began experiencing more insomnia leading into Wednesday. But I finally crashed during the day. Day 9, ordinary rest, no issues, but I was experiencing, and matter of fact, I'm still experiencing right now a little dry mouth. Day 10, no major issues. Woke up and thought I was, yeah. My bowels decided to wake up because I had pretty much not had a bowel movement for 2 and 3 days at a time. But you be ready when it hits you because it'll hit you and you'll be surprised. That was an issue, but that was pretty much it. Those first 10 days. Now I'm not supposed to go into 11, 20, but I'm going to let you know what I experienced. I'll give you once I hit day 20, I will come back on with a feed explaining what happened between 11 and 20. Right now I'm on day 13, but just to give you a little teaser, day 11 and 12, I experienced some serious nausea constantly. And one thing that from what I've seen on YouTube and Dr. Goldhammer was that you got to take something electrolytes, a little salt in the water to help pacify the stomach cramping because they can get bad. I really didn't really have any until day 11 and 12. It gets bad. So I'm on day 13 right now. I am down to the last time I looked. I went and got weighed in today. I'm at 474 with pants and shirt on. I'm confident I'm at like at 470, 471 at the most. And when I started out, I was at 500, 506, something like that. Now I'm at 474. Especially if you are morbidly obese, you're going to lose 2 pounds a day. But I not eating anything. Now, the last couple of days to quell the pain, they have this cellulite, not cellulite, electrolyte water that I mean no electrolyte powder that I got from the local drugstore here called Rite Aid, and my wife looked in every aisle, and they have the electrolyte water. I'm sorry, electrolyte powder. However, comma, all of them have a certain amount of sugar in it, but I guess that's the trade-off to get those electrolytes. We checked all the aisles and we checked every one of them, and all of them had some type. It said to put you added it to a 16 ounce bottle of water. When we pour it in there, it's got 50 calories. I guess that's the trade-off with electrolytes. I don't know. I looked because I was trying to stay as true to it as possible. I took some electrolyte water yesterday, and I took some the day before yesterday. It was water, but I had some I added, you know, some electrolyte powder to it. Um, but basically, I haven't had a piece of gum in case my breath stink. I haven't had any. Um, that's pretty much where I'm at. I've lost over 20 pounds in this last. I'm going to say about 25 pounds. I'm sorry I don't have the exact, but it was like 506. So so I'm at 474 now, 84, 94. I've lost 30 pounds in 2 weeks. You're going to lose 2 pounds a day if you do a strict water diet. You're going to lose 2 pounds a day, and I'm at that. And I'm encouraged at my weight loss. Now, they were saying it addresses some anti-immune system problems. And one thing they said was bursitis. I didn't mention this at the beginning. I have had bursitis since 2003. If I started to even lift my shoulder, I would have like there was an Advil on my shoulder, and it was very painful to lift it up. I'm having it is in it has it's not 100%, but I couldn't do this at all. I'm taking no meds. Oh, well, I did take the blood pressure medicine maybe 2 days ago. Um, and they're saying it's supposed to reverse that as well. Um, but I'm taking no medicine, and this I could not do this at all. 3 weeks ago, I couldn't lift it up. If I did, it's like an anvil. It was like, oh, it was like it was being weighed down. And it was such excruciating pain to lift it up. No problem. That's a direct result of the dry fast. Period. Your body has the ability to heal itself. God set it up that way, but we are so processed. I highly, highly suggest that you try it. You won't regret it. It'll be rough, particularly the first 2 days. And then from there, you'll find out that some days are better than others. Some days you'll have no problems. Other days, like today, this is day 13 for me. I'm not having any problems. When I feel the dryness in my mouth, I drink water. I'm drinking purified water. And that's all I've been drinking for the last 13 days, with the exception of that electrolyte water, where I had water and they put some electrolytes in it. I hope this has been a blessing to someone. I hope this helps someone out. You can do it. I have not been under 500 pounds in 10 years. Or I was at 495 in 2015. And I'm 474 right now, and I have no intention on quitting. I am going to 50 days. Now, I would go to 100 days, but I've been hearing some maybe one or two things, a problem with the intestines, and having issues with going to the restroom after 100 some days. So I'm going to stop at 50, and then I'm going to feed myself, refeed, And I'm gonna do that for 10 days, and then I'm gonna go another 50. And then I will pretty much come off of it around my wife's birthday, which is June 17th. But I am going all of the month of March. I went 5 days in February, all of the month of March, and probably 2 weeks in April, and I will start refeeding again. And I don't know, 7 to 10 days, I'll probably eat, and then I'm going to start the whole thing all over again. I would go 100 days, but I don't want uh, some problems because from what I've seen that this one guy, uh, I can't think of his name, but his video is the fasting fat man. I can't think of his name. Forgive me. He's having some problems with bowel movements because he was on for 150 days. Uh, that is the only reason I'm not going to go that long at once, but I am going to go 50, break, then another 50. Okay. If you like this, please share it with somebody and also give your comments. Thank you so much for listening these last 31 minutes. Bless you.